Hi everyone, it's Brett. I think I solved the puzzle. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle was released on December 9th, 2024 on the Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S, as well as Windows. It later came to the PlayStation 5 on April 17th, 2025, which is where I played it on. I'm going to go through some funny notable moments from this adventure and some thoughts I have on the game. I found some stuff where the game kind of glitched out a little, but when it came to things that I didn't like, the game's glitches weren't really one of those things for the most part. They were mostly just funny. That is a lot of scorpions. That was a lot of scorpions. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle kind of sounds like a silly name to me. Also, any other great shape could have technically been chosen. But seriously though, it was kind of hard to take this title seriously when I first saw it. Although it's based on an actual myth, so that's cool. I think I started to like the name more later on. Wait a second. I know what they should have called this game. Indiana Jones and the Invisible Light Bulb. The decision to put this game primarily in first person was shocking to me. Indiana Jones is usually in third person, so this first person perspective is interesting in some cases. I think the game plays well in this perspective. It probably would have been better in third person though, because, well, that is the perspective the Indiana Jones movies have. I personally would have preferred that. I think the developers realized this too, because sometimes there will be a third person view, like when climbing something. I could have climbed this pole less and the game probably would have become a slightly better experience. This sentiment could be applied elsewhere as well. I liked that the color white was used to signify what could be climbed on. It doesn't feel that out of place in the environment, but is still noticeable enough. I had fun with the platforming elements. Swinging around with the whip is satisfying. Vaulting over this was not my best idea, but when I landed on an unsmashable bush and didn't break any legs, I knew that it really didn't seem to matter too much when I did something this lethal. I remember something like this happening again because somehow grabbing onto a ledge just didn't want to work one time. I'm just going to drop directly on that wood below, or I could just seem to walk on thin air and drop down the wrong location. I did enjoy the story. Learning more about the Great Circle and the universe of Indiana Jones was intriguing. The game mentions there being some mysterious power connected to the Great Circle, which is said to basically be a circular line that connects some ancient sites from around the world. Oh, this must be the part where the supernatural thing happens at the end of an Indiana Jones story. It's another one of those supernatural things. Add that to the supernatural occurrences list. I can't go up the pyramid because there is an invisible wall. Yet another supernatural occurrence. Speaking of puzzling things, there were plenty of fun puzzles. There were some interesting ideas here. The Indiana Jones series is known for puzzles, so I'm glad to see the game deliver on that aspect. I found another puzzling and supernatural type of occurrence. The combat was cool. It felt satisfying, although it did get a little repetitive. There's a lot of punching and hitting. The combat has some extra fun moments. Using the whip was fun. Indiana Jones is so resilient. Nothing phases this guy. Getting to pick things up to use in combat was a creative idea, and I did have fun messing with random items just in general. This bottle is durable. That bottle was durable. I'll toss this to the other side. Could really work on that aim. The sound design was done really well for this game. The whip sounded amazing. Also, eating stuff sounded satisfying. The stealth gameplay seemed okay. It's hard for me to form a great opinion around it because I've generally found myself to not be a big fan of stealth segments in games. I'll just stealthily drop this person. Oh wait, you saw that? What are you doing? He's going to see you. Well, maybe not. Yeah, I guess you're fine. Sure, this might take me out of some of the realism, but I prefer my partner not getting noticed because sometimes she's not really staying close enough to me and I can't do much about it. This game looks incredibly good, by the way. Although the game can have a supernatural kind of view. There's just so much detail in the plants and other stuff. Since this is in first-person view, things can be shown really close up, which just makes the visuals even more impressive. I had a pretty good experience with this game. It was well made in a lot of aspects. Anyway, the sequel should be called Indiana Jones and the Great X. It could be pirate-themed.